Hey, this is Blue.
And this is Bleu.
And today we will be starting a new series. This is going to be Cobra Kai, the exclusive series on YouTube that is the sequel to the Karate Kid franchise. In this series, we see grown-up Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence and their continuing rivalry.
I'm really a big fan of the original movies, and we're obviously gonna,
We're going to review all four, technically, Karate Kid movies, because I'm a fan of the next Karate Kid, okay? Holding it down, Hilly Swank.
There's three.
We'll get into the... Well, look, what I grew up with was the next Karate Kid.
I don't consider
As a
that
girl,
shit part of the trilogy.
Mr. Miyagi was in that movie, the next Karate Kid.
Yeah, I
Was
know
it as good as the original? Of course not. Is it better than Part 3, though? I've never seen Karate Kid Part 2 or Part 3, so it'll be quite an experience when we review all the franchise. I'm looking forward to it, and that will be in the... Keep tuned for that.
If you were a young man growing up in the 80s when this movie was big,
yes,
you gotta understand something. From my perspective, I didn't love any movie when I was a kid more than the Karate Kid. That's where it was to me. I had a karate gi. I had a black belt.
I thought you loved Rambo.
Well, not as much as the Karate Kid. Come on.
You love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Well, that's on the list too, but not as much as Karate Kid. It was just,
It's okay.
I was crazy about these movies, and they're great movies. I mean, especially the first one.
Yeah. Now, me and my co-host have actually watched Cobra Kai Season 1 and Season 2, and we're doing a rewatch of it, and I have to say, it was binge-worthy.
Yeah, it was impressive. I was very impressed.
I was very impressed as well. The quality, the acting. I have a crush on William Zabka now. I'm sorry. Everyone who likes Daniel LaRusso, Ralph Macchio, he's good. Yeah. But Johnny Lawrence has a different dimension to him in this series. He's not just the villain. You feel for him. He's got a whole new side.
He's the star of the show.
Yeah. I think he should have been nominated for an Emmy.
He definitely carries it, and it's just well executed.
I mean, William Zabka can get it from me. That's all I'm saying. He's sexy as hell on the show, in my opinion. TMI. You don't think when he does that roundhouse kick, he's not fucking hot, and he's wearing his black dojo suit, his uniform? He looks sexy.
He's definitely badass.
He's badass, and he's in his 50s or something. It's whoa.
Let's get this started.
Okay, so the first episode, this is Cobra Kai Episode 1. The episode is titled Ace Degenerate.
Yeah.
So what I like about this series, which it's really actually you can tell that the creators of the series were big fans of the original series. So they intersperse a lot of clips from the original trilogy into the movies.
Yeah.
From the movies into the show.
They were able to do that, had all the resources to get that done.
Exactly. So the first episode begins with the end of Karate Kid 1, the epic fight at the All Valley Karate Championship.
Daniel LaRusso is gonna fight.
You're the best around.
Yeah.
And you basically see the fight. So if anyone hasn't seen the end of Karate Kid 1, Johnny Lawrence and Daniel LaRusso have a fight at the All Valley Karate Championship, and
sweep the leg.
What happens?
Well,
so what's the guy's name? The coach? The bad guy?
Lawrence?
No, the bad guy. The dojo. What's his name?
Cobra Kai.
Kreese.
Oh yeah, John Kreese.
John Kreese.
Yeah.
He is the dojo of the Cobra Kai. And he says to Johnny Lawrence to sweep the leg, which means he basically would
fight dirty.
Yeah, and that's illegal.
Yeah. And
then, spoiler alert, I'm sorry, John Kreese is a badass too. He comes back in this show, and he is scary. He's in his 70s. He kicks ass. I'm oh shit, I'm scared. He has such an intimidating look. I'm god damn, I'm scared.
And he got the crane kick to the damn chin. 1, 2, 3.
So, Daniel LaRusso wins and kicks Johnny Lawrence's ass by doing the crane kick, and breaks his nose, right?
The thing I love about this show is like they really spun it from like Johnny's perspective. Well, it's
exactly.
It's like, oh,
especially the first episode is all about. Isn't it all told from his perspective?
Yes.
So now we flash to the present day. Johnny Lawrence
he's like the victim.
Is asleep in his bed with a bag of chips sprawled all over the bed. I mean, he's just a mess.
He's a mess. He looks like hell. His diet is horrible. He's drinking pissy beer. Old beer.
No, he's still living in the age, which is what I love about this movie. They got a great soundtrack. He drives a badass car. Yeah. He loves the 80s rock and roll. He's drinking Coors.
He's got his damn Z28 Camaro, baby.
Yeah. So.
I think it's Z28 or Trans Am. I think it's a Z.
But it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, so basically, how many years have passed? Like 30 plus years, correct? Mm-hmm. Like almost 35 years. Almost 35 years. Oh,
hell yeah, man. Fried bologna, baby.
I mean, this is his lifestyle.
Fried bologna, man.
He's having ketchup and bologna. Fried bologna. Fried. And he's watching. What's he watching? What movie is that? He loves 80s movies.
Yeah.
He watches Iron Eagle. That's like his favorite movie.
I think that's what that
Chappie?
is. Yeah.
Chappie? So, while this does deal with the protagonist and the antagonist from the original franchise, it also sets you up with a whole new generation of characters. So, Johnny Lawrence's neighbor, his name is Miguel, and he lives across the hall in his rundown apartment complex. Yeah. And he's kind of being bullied and everything. So basically he was the Daniel LaRusso character.
Yeah, his car is a Trans Am, excuse me.
Yeah. So, and then Daniel LaRusso, which we find out, is now he doesn't live in the Valley anymore, does he? He lives in like Encino, right, or something? He's living in the lap of luxury. Yeah, he runs a Audi dealership or Mercedes dealership. Yeah. A luxury car. He drives luxury cars. He's rich, let's put it that way. He lives in a nice house. So Johnny Lawrence is falling on hard times. Yeah, LaRusso Auto Group, we kicked the competition. And he's like, you gotta be kidding me. He's listening to Poison's Nothing But a Good Time. His car is definitely either a Trans Am or a Firebird. That's a nice car. It's made by Pontiac, though. Yeah. So basically, maybe people thought judging from he's listening to Poison's Nothing But a Good Time. Anyway, so people might have thought from the original series that Johnny was rich, he was going to have a great life, but flash forward 35 years later almost. What? And he just rolls up this woman, she's stretching, and he's like, he thinks he's still got game. And she calls him a creep. He still thinks, like, whatever flew in the 80s about hitting on women, that, like, he's still going to get the response. He still thinks he's, like, a 17-year-old guy. Yeah. Yeah. Ew. So now he's like picking dead rats off people's gutter. He basically just is like a handyman to try to make the bills. Yeah, he's basically getting shit on. He's like, he's basically working for the type of people that Daniel is now. Yeah. Rich people. His life is one big shit sandwich. But Johnny Lawrence as a character in the original movie, wasn't he a rich kid? Yeah. So you would think his life, and Daniel was poor and he was living in that rundown apartment, and now the roles are reversed. Yep. Which I think is an interesting twist of fate. It actually gives Johnny Lawrence, like I said, we're going to be reviewing the original franchise. I haven't seen the original Karate Kid in a long time, but I do remember that Johnny Lawrence was just basically played as like only a villain. He was kind of one-dimensional in that movie. Yeah. Although people said that maybe he was the victim in that movie, that Daniel stole a girlfriend. But people have that theory that Daniel was the bad guy. Yeah, well, I don't believe that shit myself. And stole Allie from him. I mean, I haven't seen it in a while, so I don't really remember. But I really like William Zabka. I think his performance is just very, like I said, multifaceted, and he really gives a lot of depth to this character that could just be like written as only like a chauvinistic pig or something. Yeah. And he's very funny, by the way. I'm sorry. He cracks me up. He has like a lot of one-liners that he delivers so like offhandedly, like sarcastic, that it makes me laugh. Just quit bitching at me. And she's like, what did you just call me? And he's like, no, I didn't call her a bitch. Yeah. I said she was bitching at me. He was doing a job at some rich woman's house, and he basically got like fired. You're firing me because of that bitch? You know what? I hated that job.
Yeah. His car looks as rough as he does. It's like all faded.
But basically, what's interesting is that he's still living in 1983.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Because that was his glory day.
Yep.
And I think it's so true, though. Everybody, when you think about it, everyone's nostalgic for their past. Whenever was like the highlight of their life, when they thought they were at their peak, that's what people want to go back to. So that's what I like about this show. It really shows people clinging on to the past.
Yeah.
Now he's eating some gas station pizza or some convenience store pizza. And the guy's, ew, why is the guy holding it with his hand? He doesn't even have gloves. He's just like, can I take my own pizza? Yeah, he's like, can you put this on a plate? So then Miguel walks into the convenience store and Johnny's just kind of being dismissive because he just wants to eat. He's just hungry.
That looks like some nasty pizza.
Yeah. So Johnny's just being like, he's just very politically incorrect. He doesn't know like how to cope in today's society with rules changing. The Me Too movement, people are more careful of what they say. He said I have a tiny wang. I speak English, asshole. That's what the cashier says, because Johnny's basically making a false stereotype that because the guy's Hispanic, he doesn't speak English, and he's like, I speak English, asshole.
Now a bunch of guys are getting out of the vehicle and they're about to
Those are high schoolers. Yeah, high schoolers that are like the bullies that go to school with Miguel are now trying to like cause problems with Johnny. And one guy blows cigarette smoke in Johnny's face and he's like, nah, man, like, you fucked with the wrong guy.
On the wrong day.
I know. This scene is so hot. I'm sorry, when I first saw this, I was like, I had like a massive like, I was so turned on by William Zabka. I'm sorry. Look at this like crazy like meth person. No, she's like a meth head. God. I'm not joking. This woman's like trying to like come at him for money. No, I mean, I'm serious. What the hell?
Oh shit.
So they're trying to beat Miguel up. So these guys are basically what Johnny Lawrence and his gang were called. And what was his gang called? Do you remember? This was called Cobra Kai, right?
Yeah.
His group of friends that were in Cobra Kai. Yeah. They're like beating Miguel up. He's like the underdog. And Johnny Lawrence is just eating his pizza. He's just trying to stay out of it. And then one of the guys pours Pepto-Bismol on Miguel's head. And now Johnny Lawrence is like, nah. He's like, I gotta like defend him. Even though he doesn't want to get involved. He knows like he just can't sit and listen to this anymore. Or what happens? Doesn't one of them smash his car or something? Yeah. Miguel falls on top of his car and he's like, hey, watch the car, man. And then the bullies are like, who's this dude? And then they're like, you see this guy eating his dinner at the mini mart like a bum? And then Johnny like, you don't fuck with Johnny Lawrence. And that guy's like, that explains why he smells like shit. And he's like, all right, trust me, you guys are pissing off the wrong guy on the wrong day. Then he does oh my god, then he's going to do a roundhouse kick to the face. Here we go. Done. Bam! Yeah! He knocked the guy down. And now, like, it's just a massive, like, fight. Johnny's just, like, kicking guys, like, in the chest. He's just cutting them down. Like, I don't know, it's just all this, like, great action. He's like elbowing the guy. He's like just doing like all these like karate moves. Like
the homeless one's eating his pizza or something somehow.
What do you think? It's just like it's really well choreographed.
Yeah.
You can tell like and they're doing like most of their own stunts, right?
Yep.
He's just talking to Miguel. Like Miguel's like I said, the Daniel LaRusso character in this show, and he's like, "Come on, can like you teach me karate? These guys are making me miserable." And Johnny's like, it's not my problem. And he's like, I don't do karate, and I need to find a job. And then Miguel's like, you can open your own karate school. And then Johnny Lawrence is like, it's called a dojo. I'm not getting into this. I don't even know if I'm allowed to be around kids right now. Because he had to get out of the police station because he beat them up. Yeah. What'd he say about you? Maybe you'll stop getting your ass kicked if you weren't such a wimp or something?
Mm-hmm.
That's mean.
Yep.
He walks into his apartment. He's like, who the hell are you?
It's Daddy.
So his stepdad is there. His stepdad's like this prick. Like he's
Some
just
chunks of wisdom from daddy.
He's a stepdad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like this old man, and he is just such a dick, such a prick, and he kind of just uses money to like keep Johnny in line, kind of.
Pretty much.
But he doesn't really like help him out.
No.
And what we learn is that Johnny is divorced, and he has a son, a teenage son,
yep.
who lives with his wife or
yep.
his ex-wife.
Ex-wife.
Yeah. So the stepdad's like, little did I know when I met your mom I'd be dealing with her schmuck kid for the rest of my life. And he's like, oh yeah, you were like the greatest stepfather ever, not. And then the stepdad, his name's Sid, the stepdad, he's like, how old's your kid anyway, 15, 16?
He's a really convincing asshole.
Well, you know who that actor is, right? Ed Asner?
Yeah.
Who plays the cantankerous Mr. Fredrickson in Up?
Oh, that's right.
So yeah, he's really good at like being like, you know, a curmudgeon. So he like wrote him a check, right? And he's like, I'm buying you out of my life. Johnny tears his check up and says, I'd rather be homeless than take money from you. And then Sid has like his nurse at Johnny's apartment, and his nurse is like, blood pressure, because he got like all like bent out of shape. And Sid's like, I'd say get your life in order, but at this point you're like the meat in your fridge. That's like so fucked up.
Yep.
So basically he's an unsupportive ass.
Pretty much.
Oh, he's watching Iron Eagle.
Yeah, man.
Chappy.
God. He's drinking some cheap bourbon. Rock gut bourbon.
Well, that just shows you, like, he's at the lowest point. He's hit rock bottom.
Yep.
You've seen Iron Eagle, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of like a Top Gun movie? Kind of similar to Top Gun?
Pretty much.
I think they came out the same year.
Yeah.
But Top Gun's a better movie.
Yeah, not as good as Top Gun, but yeah.
And they made a bunch of sequels for Iron Eagle, right?
Yep.
Have you seen all of them?
I think so.
All right. So now we see more flashbacks from the All Valley State Karate Championship when Johnny was actually, like, kicking LaRusso's ass before he got kicked in the face.
He's reminiscing. Oh, shit. It's Daniel LaRusso on TV.
And, yeah, he sees...
Fuck you, Daniel, son.
Johnny... yeah, fuck you, son. God.
Daniel's son.
Daniel's son. Yeah. Unfortunately, Mr. Miyagi's not in the show because the actor passed away. So he's still an integral part. Which is true because
Get your free fucking bonsai tree.
He is a major component of the Karate Kid films.
Yes, definitely.
So
Number
Foreigner's,
one component.
Yeah, Foreigner's head game is they're playing and Johnny's driving. So Johnny saw Daniel LaRusso, like we said, has his own car dealership and it's called like LaRusso's, and Johnny sees a commercial and that sets him off. He's like, fuck this, because he doesn't want to see his nemesis living a better life than him.
Man.
Yeah. Now they're showing more scenes from is this the original Karate Kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the days of high school.
And then he's reminiscing about his high school girlfriend, Allie, played by Elizabeth Shue, who I believe will make an appearance in season 3. And then
I hope so.
Yeah, and then he's just, like, basically all the scenes, all the key scenes that people remember from the first Karate Kid are all kind of in, like, a montage. Them as skeletons at Halloween, Mr. Miyagi kicking their ass, Daniel meeting Allie on the soccer field, and just like all the great moments from the first movie. And now we see Daniel doing that crane kick again. Yeah. And he's just replaying getting kicked in the face over and over again. He's just drinking. He's driving and drinking. That's great.
Don't try that at home, people. Don't do that.
He's not a good role model right now for anyone.
Do not.
He's a broken man.
Be doing it.
He's just broken. Crap.
It'll get you in jail or dead.
Yeah. Which is true. They don't really touch on the fact that he could just completely have killed somebody.
Yeah.
Or himself.
Yeah.
So now where is he? He's at, what's he doing? The All Valley Sports Arena. Second place is no place. Wait, you're nothing but a loser. That's from the Karate Kid Part 2, right? Mm-hmm. That's Kreese. He breaks his trophy and then he tries to choke him, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's from the beginning of Karate Kid Part 2, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, they're showing that scene. And Johnny's basically coming face to face with himself at 17 years old. He can see that scene play in his mind. And they're just replaying that scene. It's just interspersed really well, edited really well.
And then his car just got hit.
There's 3 teenage girls, and they just hit his car. And he's like, what the hell? And he's just going crazy. He's like, what the hell? What's going on? Open the door, open the door. He's going ballistic because it's like, what the fuck? His life couldn't be going worse enough already.
And they don't even stop.
Yeah, they basically just did a hit and run.
Yep.
So Johnny's chasing them, although no, his engine is sputtering. So his car died or something. His battery died or something. So what we find out, an interesting twist, is one of the girls in the car is Daniel LaRusso's daughter.
Yep.
He's gonna take his car in to get fixed because it got towed. And they're saying, is he supposed to buy a new car or is he supposed to get his car fixed there?
Get it fixed.
Okay. He's going to get his car fixed. And where do they take him? What car do they give him? LaRusso's Corporation.
Yes.
So now he's coming. This is what people have waited 35 years for. They want to see the climactic confrontation between the two rivals.
Yep.
So Johnny shows up wearing a hoodie over his head like the fucking Unabomber.
Yep.
And he walks into...
He does not want to be seen.
LaRusso's auto body. And he just does... Yeah, of course he doesn't want to run into LaRusso because he doesn't want to say, hey, how's your life? Oh, I'm living in, a shithole, you know? I got no woman. I am completely broke. My life sucks. You stole Allie from me, you know? He's living in the past, which I think a lot of people do live in the past. I think it's a natural human nature, you know? I mean, I think about the past, and you kind of wonder, you have, the regrets of stuff that you coulda, shoulda, woulda, you know?
Yep.
So he's talking to the woman behind the counter, and he's like, look, I'm in a hurry, and she's like, we'll give you an estimate. He's like, I want it towed, my car, to a different body shop. She's like, why? We've never won service team in the valley. And she's just completely
upselling.
Because
my car's a piece of shit, and
she's upselling the company.
It's going to cost more to get it fixed than the car's worth.
And then all of a sudden, before you go, Mr. LaRusso, wanted to thank you personally. Let me go get him. And he's like, can you hurry up? I got to get out of here. And she's like, well, your car's in one of our intake lots. I'll just figure out which one. He's like, I'll just come back tomorrow. And so he's walking out. He's just trying to, be inconspicuous. And all of a sudden, what happens, Lou? Who does he see?
Daniel LaRusso.
He comes face to face. He says, Johnny Lawrence, I knew it was you. And I have to say, Ralph Macchio ages well.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell he's not as skinny as he once was, obviously, when he was... But wasn't he actually 22, 23 when he did The Karate Kid?
Yeah.
But he looked like he could be 14 or 15.
Definitely.
And now he's probably in his 50s.
Or 12.
But yeah. I mean, he looked very young, and he was very thin and, wiry. I think now he's in his 50s, but he could easily pass for 40.
Yeah.
He just aged really well.
Yep.
And now they're living in the past, and he's talking about Allie, and he's like, you made a move on my girl. And Daniel's like, she wasn't really your girl anymore, was she? And he's like, this is all water under the bridge. And then a guy's like, hey, this is the guy's ass you kicked in the All-State Valley tournament? And Johnny's just like, hey, it was a close match. So it's like even adding insult to injury. He's being even more demoralized.
Pretty much.
And what's interesting is, wasn't Johnny in the movie really like the much better fighter? I mean, he had been training for a lot longer. Because Daniel learned from Mr. Miyagi. He learned the Miyagi way.
Yeah.
And then Johnny was trained by John Kreese, which is more like brutal. Like, what's the
No Mercy
show? No Mercy.
Strike hard. Strike first. No mercy.
Yes, there it is. That's that's like a great tagline. I think that the symbol for Cobra Kai with the cobra, and I just think it's all so, it's just very artistically well done, you know?
Definitely,
so You want to say what else is happening?
Yep.
Say what else is happening. He's saying that the car estimate is on the house, and he's like, I don't need your charity.
Pretty much, and he just doesn't want to accept, any help.
And you're right. He's like, it's going to cost more than the car is worth to get it fixed.
Right.
The estimate. And doesn't he lets him pick out a free car, correct?
Yes, later on.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was this episode.
No.
Oh, okay. And look who it is.
Shit.
This is her. Hi, Dad. And he gets a flashback to the girl in the back seat. Daniel LaRusso's daughter was in one of the passengers, and he's like, "You've got to be kidding me!" And he just like storms out of there.
Fuck this, man.
Yeah, he should have said that. Fuck this.
I'm out of this bitch.
Yeah. And then Daniel comes up to him, and he's like, "Every customer gets one." And you know what it is? It's a bonsai tree.
Shove it.
And he's like, "I don't blame you for what happened back in the day. I know that wasn't you. It was Cobra Kai. We're better off without it."
Is that a fact?
Yeah. AC said 10%.
We'll see about that.
Do you believe that Johnny is better off without Cobra Kai? Because when John Kreese, spoiler, comes back in season 2, I mean, obviously John Kreese is toxic. Mm-hmm. But do you think the Cobra Kai way has no merits to it?
Well, I think when it's
and he
better
drops
when it's
the
more
bonsai.
controlled, yeah.
He drops the bonsai tree on the ground. It smashes, and the pot smashes, and the dirt goes everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then Johnny confronts Miguel, and he's like, "Are you going to be my karate teacher?" And he's like, "I'm going to be your sensei." Oh yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. John Kreese is his sensei, not his dojo.
Right.
Sorry, I got the terminology mixed up. So Johnny Lawrence, he's like, your pussy generation does really needs like Cobra Kai. So he decides in this strip mall to open up his own Cobra Kai.
Yep. He's shaving.
And he has got his trophies, and he's completely...
He's showering.
Yeah, he's stepping on a newspaper article of Daniel LaRusso, and then he has their motto on the wall, strike first, strike hard, no mercy. That's a great motto. And now he's putting his headband on. And
damn.
He's like, when the time is right, the music's playing, the time is right, you'll strike back. And now he's got his fists out, and he's going to take no prisoners. And now he's back in business.
Damn right.
So, that was the first episode of Cobra Kai, and like we said, it's a very good show. The episodes are relatively short, so the episodes just fly by.
Yeah.
It's not a boring show at all. It's got a lot of great action and choreography moves. If you're really into like any type of karate or any type of choreographed fighting, it's just got a lot of action.
I binged the first season in one night.
It's a very binge-worthy show.
Yeah.
Like, because they have short episodes, you can definitely watch a lot at once without feeling overwhelmed.
Definitely.
So, that's episode 1 of Cobra Kai. Its title is Ace Degenerate, and stay tuned for episode 2. Bye.
Bye.
Hey everyone, Bleu here, one half of Bleu and Loop Talk Movies and TV. Listener support means the world to us. So any of our devoted listeners want to help us out and do a monthly donation, that would be amazing. That would allow us to continue to do these podcasts, which we found are so enjoyable for us and something that we have a real passion for. No amount is too big or small. We will appreciate any and all donations. Life can be really hard sometimes, and these podcasts have proven to us to be a creative outlet from everything else that's going on in our lives. So we would really appreciate the listener support, and please consider doing a monthly donation so we can keep doing what we love to do, which are these podcasts. It's really proved to be such a reprieve for us. Thank you, and keep tuning in. To find our listener support page, it's just on our Anchor page, anchor.fm, where you hopefully found this podcast, or maybe used a different platform, but we have our podcast on anchor.fm. Just search for us if you haven't found us on there. And on our page, there will be a button to support, donate. Click on it, and everything is self-explanatory. And we really appreciate your support. Seriously. Thank you, everyone. All of our fans.